Gary Kasulu. I'm Gary Kasulu, and I am very, very excited to talk to you about a career in social media. I'm just going to share the link. Here you go. Look, we're working live as things are going. So, what does a career in social media look like? You see, it's very glamorous. Possibly, you think, you see all the football stars and people on Love Island, and they all got millions of followers and people with Ferraris. It doesn't always work that way, actually. It's I'm just sharing this. Hold on, my live stream. Right. So, what is today about? Let's start there, and then we'll talk about how a career in social media management, what it looks like. So, what's today about? Enfield North is a really exciting, vibrant, community-based place to live, and in the north of Enfield, it's not as rich as the south of Enfield. And this is our lovely MP, Ferrell Clark, has managed to put together lots of people that are young people that want a career in a certain topic, right? So my job here is to talk about social media and digital strategy. And it's really, really interesting because there's loads of different types. People don't realize how much there is to do. So why do we exist? All businesses exist to solve a problem. Solving a problem for a client. So whatever type of business they have a problem. People come to us because they want more traffic from the website. They want to be seen more visibly on social media. And so they haven't got the time to do it, or they don't know how to do it. So people come to us and they pay us a certain amount of money. It depends on how much they pay us, what we do, and we go from there. And it's worth me breaking down all the different types of stuff that we do. So first, it starts with a strategy. Imagine going to the airport and you ask the person at the checkout, "Hi, I want to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where I want to go." It just wouldn't happen. It just would not happen. You've got to know where you're going. And it's the same with marketing. Marketing is about getting new customers, keeping old. But you need to plan ahead, maybe a year and ahead of the kind of things that you'll be doing. Will you be having events? Are there things on the calendar like Christmas and Easter and St. Patrick's Day and Black Friday? All of these things need to be planned into something called a marketing calendar. We'd like to plan a year in advance, maybe further. And definitely in detail, you need a 90-day plan. So strategic planning for your marketing is one job on its own. You could do that all by itself. You need lots of experience to know what to do there. The next one is, we'll say, should we say YouTube? Well, everyone's on YouTube, right? The thing about YouTube is that you put a video, you make a video, and unless you're consistent, unless you know how to optimize it, unless you know what the people want, you will never be able to make it worthwhile. Google and YouTube are linked together, and people will pay us to look after their YouTube channel. That might sound really cool, but you've got to have some video skills, you've got to have some editing skills, you've got to be creative, you've got to understand marketing. YouTube Shorts at the minute are just like TikTok. See, they tend to copy everyone, just like superhero movies. It's not a real good superhero movie unless Spider-Man's in it and like, I don't know, all of them. You want them all in there, Batman, the whole lot. And it's kind of like that with social media. You want it all in there. So that's YouTube. We look after people's YouTube. Look after people's Facebook. Now, that might sound easy, but it's not. If there's no likes, no shares, no comments, people are not happy. They're going to pay you just to put up content. So you need lots of that. There's groups on Facebook and there are pages on Facebook. So managing the groups, managing the pages, maybe even managing the personal page for the client. Then there's a thing called LinkedIn, which I hope that you understand and you know what it is. LinkedIn is business to business, and most of them are B2C. They call that business to consumer. And LinkedIn is about doing one post a day to do that business people would be interested in. So it's like Insta, but less exciting. We'll move on to Instagram. Instagram have 4 or 5 different features, and unless you use them all, I speak to the guys that have 1 million followers. Unless you use all of those features, it's not going to work for you. So the grids, the reels, the stories, the video, the live Instagram, all of these things really count to you getting more people to watch you. What else is next? You got to know how to write. So blogging is really important. Blogging is massive. So you blog. The reason you blog is to get more people on your website, and you're trying to make yourself an expert. And blogging can bring in all the skills. It can bring in what you learn on YouTube, what you learn on Insta, and you put it into the perfect 1,000 words with videos and pictures. And there's your Instagram. We talk about TikTok. Just great short videos that say a story. Snapchat, exactly the same, using some cool filters. There's a brand new one just started called Clubhouse. That's just sound. So you can see, like, by the time you started to put this together, you've got to understand about telling your client what you've done too. So like a report, you want to do a report because they've got to know what you were up to. My favorite of all the medias is SEO, and that's when somebody types in opticians in Enfield and you are number 1. And this is when you think there are thousands and thousands of companies that want that number 1 slot. It's almost as if you want to play for Barcelona or Liverpool or Arsenal. That spot, there's not many people can have it. In fact, there's only one. And I love playing with Google and figuring out how to get our clients from page 200 to page 1. That's called search engine optimization, and it requires both creativity and it requires logic. So Galaxy, how you doing? I've been going live up to now. I hope that you're good. So I've been talking about all the different things that you can do to be a social media company. And what qualifications do you need? Galaxy, I'd love to talk to you. Look, put in the chat. Like, I've got the chat open. You tell me if I'm going in the right direction. So with what qualifications, you actually need very little. You got to know how to read and write. No reading, no writing, you're not going to be that great at social media. So try and do well at GCSE English and maths. And what I always say to people, some of the richest, most amazing entrepreneurs in the world left school real early. They didn't do higher education, but you can learn afterwards. So what I was saying is all the different things that we do, just to recap for you, Galaxy A70, is that we do, for clients, we solve problems. And most of their problems is they don't have time to do their Facebook, their Instagram, their TikTok, their YouTube, their Google My Business. They just don't have time to do all that stuff. So it means that they pay us to do that for them. In terms of qualifications of getting into social media, like I said, you got to be, you got to be creative and you got to be logical. So Einstein, what he would do when he couldn't figure something out, he'd play his violin, and that was his creative side. So to be really good at digital marketing, you got to look at some statistics and say, yes, on a Tuesday afternoon, that's when the best time to post, or that's not quite working, that post, and then we're going to try something else. They call it split testing, where you'll do 2 or 3 things and then see which one's the best. That requires the left side of your brain, the logical side. When we're talking about the right side of the brain, we're talking creativity, making film, we're talking making content and Canva and graphics design. These are all important things. Left side, right side, qualifications, I'd say you need some GCSEs in maths and English. Other than that, you are good to go. You can play around. Like an interest in web design makes a lot of sense. Interest in graphics design, video production and editing is a really important one. How much can you be paid? Well, the sky's the limit. If you just work for somebody else, you'd start as an apprentice on, it's not great money, £2.50, £3, whatever your age is, £3.54. It's not brilliant money. But starting at the bottom is where you really learn. You learn your trade. And I was speaking to somebody today, funny enough, and she said that someone started as an apprentice at 18, and at 21 they're on £60,000 a year, and they started down there. And that's what's achievable with social media. You can start at the bottom, make your way up, and the sky's the limit. So you can work for others and you can work for yourself. So if you learn the right kind of skills, you can be self-employed. I hope this has been interesting. If you want to get in touch with me, my number is 0208 364 4444 or 0203 846 8888. Now, if you forget that, you just need to type into Google social media Enfield, and then from that link you will see us first, and I'm pretty proud of that. Shall I show you how that works? Remember before I was saying that being first on Google is a really good thing. Let me just show you. I'm going to share my screen. So share screen. I hope you can see that. I've typed in social media Enfield. We are first, and we're first down there. They call that Google domination. You want to learn how to do that? I'm quite happy to give anybody watching this some work experience. You're on half term now, you want to do a few days with me, go on the website, email me at Gary@LovingSocialMedia, or give me a call. I'm happy to give you some work experience. I've enjoyed talking today. I hope it's been interesting. There is work involved with social media. It's not just play, but play plays a big part in you being really good at what you do, because it's experimental. When they first opened, I was one of the first people in the world to be on Facebook, to be one of the first people in the world on Twitter. When a new platform comes out, which it will, you can bet your life on it, something new will come. Be one of the first to be on there and just experiment, and that's the bit that excites me. I love learning. So I'm going to leave you at 11:30 with the synopsis. Social media is split into many different skills, from email marketing to Facebook to Twitter to Instagram. I say to people I speak 10 languages, and they're like, what? I speak Pinterest, I speak YouTube, I speak Google. And it is kind of like having different languages involved. But you've definitely, the one attitude you've got to have for this job is hard work, creativity, not being afraid of failing, and the last one is you need to really enjoy learning, because after one day Facebook can change everything, or Instagram just changes all the rules, or they try something new, and you've got to learn how